Morning, Alan. Okay, hang on. Woo! There you go. Tina, look up. Rosie. No baby, lady. No baby. Morning, everybody. Chad, Adler Farms. So I figured out the secret. There's no goats. They're gone. Where are they? Well, I finally figured it out. They're way back in the back, which is where they are every morning when we pull up. When I get here, the donkeys, the goats, the highlands, and the steers are back in the back eating and grazing and doing weird stuff. I don't know. But every morning I come out here and I start the four-wheeler, and that like signals, Chad's here, and they come running. Well, I didn't do it this morning. I walked up here. So everybody gets to eat in peace this morning. Whoop, kind of. Rooster that we got from Walker Farm Fam. That ain't a rooster at all. I don't think, anyway. I haven't seen her lay an egg, and he certainly hasn't crowed. He's pretty, whatever he is. He's not as pretty as Miss Rosie, though. But yeah, they're all way down there. No way I can zoom in that far, I don't think. Alan, what you think, man? You like having your own stash over here? Don't want to get in there with the girls, huh? I think what we'll do too is here in like a couple of months, when it gets cool every day, cooler, what we'll do is hang some of those feed buckets, you know, the ones that you hang on a 2x4, like in a stall. I think I'm gonna get several of those and build something like a roof over it and feed the alpacas in that. And I'm gonna make it high enough that the goats can't get up there. So I don't think the goats are hurting the feed process with the alpacas too much. I mean, Bruce gets up in there, the little doeling gets up in there with stuff on her feet and walks across the food, and then the alpacas eat it. I don't know. I don't think anything's super dangerous, but it could be. Usually you don't have a lot of parasitic problems in the winter from the way I understand it. Took a phone call, filled up their waters. And by the way, that water right there that's kind of dirty, they get in that one. There's one over there by their shelter that they don't get in. There's no algae in it. I mean, it's literally, I walk up every day and I just dump the grass out. Comes off their face, probably blows in the wind, but perfectly clean drinking water. This one, we'll get to Cowboy here in a minute. This water over there, that one's pretty gross, always stays that way. I think it's in the sun, just is what it is. Man, I will say, it's kind of peaceful without the donkeys and the cows and the goats up here. I'm kind of liking it. Let's talk about Cowboy for a second. The video's not about this. Yesterday, apparently I got a little close and he lit me up on the back of my left calf. Now, I'm not in the business of just putting down roosters that do that once. I mean, who knows? One of the hens could have been trying to lay an egg. And he just didn't want me anywhere near. If that had been Adler, not sure Cowboy would be here, but he's all right. I'm just kidding. Seriously, it's so quiet. I don't know what to do. Hang on, we got to do something here. I had some concrete, some Quickcrete on the back of my trailer that I forgot about. It did rain over a month ago, believe it or not, and it got that concrete wet enough to make that whole bag cure. So I've got, where's that? It's up here. So I've got some concrete I can put inside holes on the property. This one did appear right in the middle of the pasture. It had some fresh dirt coming out of it. Like, this is new. So I kind of want to put that concrete in there to see what happens. I put the bucket here yesterday so that the donkeys and the highlands, like, nobody would come cruising along here real fast. And I put some pew-pews on the deck over there. We don't need them to check the chicken coop. Guys, I gotta be honest, I'm kind of liking the donkeys and the Highlands over here. Not interrupting and being in everybody's face, and I don't know, they can get kind of pushy. I mean, I love being around them, but man, they's big. I'm thinking, which Ray and I've already talked about, and we've mentioned in videos, but I'm thinking about maybe cross fencing the whole property. I'm not sure. Where's he going? Ain't nothing to eat over there, brother. We burn it all down. Actually, there is something to eat, because yesterday I took the mighty Husqvarna chainsaw and cut down like 24 trees. And some of them were those willow trees that the cows, everybody, the goats, the donkeys, everybody just loves. Oh boy, looking forward to that. Somebody was sitting on those because they're warm. We'll see how many Mom's got in front of her up here. One? Okay, all you, lady. One of y'all asked us, by the way. See, Cowboy's no problem right now. And he's named after my buddy Ransom Walker, so he's not going anywhere. Just have to keep an eye on him. One of y'all asked us what we feed our chickens, and other than the scoop of grain that I give them up near the alpacas, which is just a haphazard, half a scoop of grain thrown on the ground. Other than that, we don't feed them at all. Now they get usually 1 egg, if not 2 a day, which hardens their shells and helps them lay. It's good calcium, but they're literally free range. They're organic. They're not eating anything other than that 1/2 tossed scoop of grain. They're not eating anything other than that, grasshoppers, bugs, and flies. And I will say this, now it's probably a combination of the temperatures being down and the chickens, but the flies are going away. We don't have near as many flies. I haven't sprayed them, haven't sprayed the cattle or the donkeys in probably 2 weeks, but the chickens, here, I'll show you. So this is one of the donkeys, and it normally, let's see, I don't see any that they haven't scattered out. They're pretty quick, but normally that would be like in a pile. But as soon as somebody duties, it sits there, and when it starts to get fly larvae on it, they spread it all over the place, which is awesome. It's good fertilizer. So Wally has managed to evade me on every front. I've only stayed out here a couple of nights, not like all night, but just into darkness after sunset, waiting to see if he or she would show up, and nothing. I was starting to think maybe he left because we cut down so many trees, as well as, hang on, this is where I gotta start looking for snakes. And I got my Crocs on, you guys are welcome. I thought maybe he left, maybe. Let me show you what I did find. Don't see any this morning. Now, usually the water being turned up is an indication you've got something in your pond, like muskrats, beavers, whatever. But this is the side the Highlands and the cows use the most. So that's why it's so stirred up. Usually I don't see snakes until the sun is a little bit higher. They come out to bake, basically. And I found a lot of sheds lately. Snakeskin sheds, so. Trapper Jay's been telling me he is convinced that there's an entrance below water for this beaver. And whether it's the beaver that did this or a muskrat, I'm not sure. But I found this yesterday right on the toe of the peninsula, and this whole thing is soft because that's a hole. I shoved some sticks all the way up in it, and he either wasn't here last night or he just came out and climbed over the sticks, but I don't see any tracks either other than those. But I'm not sure if that's beaver or raccoon. Yep, like all this is soft. Like I'm walking on a den, I believe. And I'm sure he's got an entrance up here somewhere or a way to get out. Old buddy's still here. Let's go over there and look at the trees that I cut down. I'll show you what I did. All right, the dam hasn't changed much. All of this was burned off. There's still some pretty sizable holes. But remember, I've got Brandon from Elite Earthworks coming to see us sometime in the next month or so, next couple weeks, whatever. And he's going to give us an idea about what to do with this dam. Because standing up here, that's what I was trying to explain to you guys. This is, I mean, it's at least 150 feet on this dam and maybe 20, 30 feet wide. I mean, that's a lot of earth to move. When in reality, I think we can just dig out some of these holes, get them to collapse, and then fill them in. So we'll see, but we'll wait on Brandon's experience to come talk to us about it. Cut down a ton of trees yesterday, and I left the limbs, or I left the trunks, so that they'd be easier to get out of the ground. Now that one kind of split on me while I was cutting it. That's a big tree. But that's what everybody's doing back here, eating downed trees. What do you think, Fredo? Where's the girls in 518? This huge tree right here, that one, it is down, which I believe the fire may have killed it. But it started to fall and then it spun on me and just sat down right there against that other tree, which is even bigger. So that's where it's gonna sit for a little bit. But we had a bunch of deadfalls back here, or widow makers, whatever you want to call them. I don't even know if deadfall is the same term as a widow maker, but they're not usually too far from Fred. I guarantee they're back here. Yeah, I cut all of these down. Check this out. So this tree right here is the one that's leaning towards our fence, and I don't know if it'll actually reach the fence. It's hard to tell because, believe it or not, it's still 15, 20 feet up in the air. But I'm gonna tie a tow strap to that, back my truck up here, and just pull her down real slow. But look at this. When this all caught fire back here, it's got under, I mean, look at that. It got under that tree. Like I probably could have pushed that over. It literally just burnt the roots out from underneath it, which just goes to show how soft that willow tree is. And running my saw through it definitely showed me how soft it is. Interesting. We got a lot of work to do back here. But we'll wait until the weather shifts, wait until we get a tractor. Wink, wink. That'll give us a safer way too to get these trees out of here. Nothing's at risk of falling. They will fall over, but they're not gonna hurt anything. Despite how it looks, trust me, nothing back here could hurt something right now. This was a giant den as well, because this usually holds water. But because of the drought, all the water is gone. Like I imagine these dens back here, some of this used to be underwater, like entirely. Tessie, where's your sister? Huh? Moo. Where's your sister, young lady? Huh? Them oak leaves good. You like that, huh? They've even got the Burgo Bros eating them. So yeah, still need to take down that tree right there, that mess of trees actually. Some more along the fence line. These right here, I don't know if I'll waste the gas on them because whatever equipment comes back here, a tractor included, would run right over these. We're missing a Highland. You the guilty one? Boys and girls, I wish I was kidding, but usually you can hear them. And if she got out, why didn't the others follow? Let's go back here one more time and then we'll try something if I don't find her. Dude, you're not actually hidden, you know that, right? There she is. Whew, goodness, lady. Where you been? Junebug. I think she was back there. They go back there and lay. It's nice and cool. But you can see what I did was I did not just cut down every tree back here. I left all the ones along the fence line because I think it's really attractive. First off, like, kind of offers a lot of privacy. Now when the leaves fall, Sure, you'll be able to see right through this, but that would have been the case no matter what. There's a lot of good firewood back here. Let me know the black willow though. Should you burn that? Because man, that was some soft trees. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. I've got chaps on, snake boots. I don't wear hearing aid protection. Hearing aid protection. I don't wear hearing protection, especially with stuff overhead. I want to be able to hear. Now I do have some pew pew headphones that allow for ambient noises, but when you're running a chainsaw, it doesn't matter. It cancels it out. Some of you might ask, why are you doing this if you got Brandon coming with an excavator and a dozer and skid steer? Who else knows what other toys that guy's got? I want to see the land. I can't reiterate that enough. I can't say it enough. Not that Brandon couldn't be diligent, but Brandon can move quicker if we eliminate the trees we know we don't want. And we know for sure, I believe these two are dead. I really do think they are. I mean, there's no new growth. But anyway, we're gonna keep going, keep taking these out, especially this one over here. That's definitely dead. All these right here, they've got to come out because they are on the bank, the dam, if you will. Yesterday when I cut all these trees down, there was probably 2 dozen, but that's because there's more over here. So there's even more trees over there. I cut all those down on top of that. The problem is the brush is so heavy that when you cut them down, they fall into that brush. So they're not like laying over, but those will come out today. But like I was telling my dad, I ran the saw yesterday for 2 hours without a mishap. And, I'm not a professional. I've never run a saw this much in my entire life. And when you go that long without a mishap, it's not that you become careless, but you kind of get in a rhythm. And while I was being safe, I called it quits after about 2 hours. It's like, I haven't gotten hurt. Nothing fell on the fence. These fell the way they had to fall because they were leaning at almost a 45-degree angle anyway. Yeah, this one was pretty much dead. And what we're up against here, we don't want to, we want to take out the trees that are this way, because those are close enough that they'll grow into the bank. But then we've got some right here. Looks like I can take out that one because they're probably going to be too close. And this one here, those aren't even oak trees, I'm sorry. This is the oak tree right here. These two can come out and probably everything behind it. But this oak tree right here that's growing that I want to leave, it's on a mound that's 4 feet tall, and water does flow right through here from our neighbors, from the top of our land. It flows right here. And when I say flows, I mean like it might fill up this channel, which is a 13 wide and a foot deep. So it's not like this is a river. The reason it looks so manicured is I actually brought the skid steer down here the last time I had one and made it a direct path. My next venture, I really want that tree to come down, but I'm not sure I should do it by myself. That's every bit of 40 feet tall, and it's got this split limb here. Like I would want it to fall this way, but I'm gonna have to make a huge relief cut, and I don't know what you call it, relief cut, whatever. And by the way, if you know chainsaws, the factory blade that came with my 55cc was 78 drive links. Can I put one on there that's an 80 drive link, or does it have to be 78? Because 78 doesn't seem to be very common. Like I can walk into Tractor Supply and get 72s and 80s, but to get 78s, I have to order them. So let me know if that matters. I'd show you, but if you don't know chainsaws, that's not going to mean anything to you. If you do know chainsaws, you don't even need to see it to know what I'm asking. That one needs to come out. That's dead too, I believe. Oh, and that's the one that's got one leaning on it. See, there's a lot of weight here. I think she might come this way, but I don't know that we're far enough from the fence to do it. Those can come out, but those are easy. Those are little willow trees. Nothing to those whatsoever. It's like cutting butter, cutting those willow trees, man. I don't know if they're supposed to be that soft or if it's the drought, but my guess is growing 4 feet a year potentially. I would assume that's a pretty soft, woo, scared me. Stepped on a stick. I peed a little. So yeah, we can cut all these down. But see, all this is gonna have to be shaped. Oh look, I found a predator. No doubt. That dude right there is a survivor. Focus. Focus. Close enough. People told me when it smells kind of sweet, that means there's snakes nearby. So that's a good time. That's our spillway. So all those got to come out. This one right here, I really want to cut that down. But if I cut it down, I can't even move it. So wherever it falls, it's going to lay. So do we try that one? Or do we stick with these little ones? I think we all know what's about to happen. Ray and my mom are so mad right now as they watch this, but we're going to do it. And if this goes well, this will probably be the last one. That's kind of how I'm rolling. You get through an hour and a half, 2 hours of cutting trees. Nobody got hurt. You didn't smash your camera. Call it a day. It appears we've reached a stalemate with this tree. All right. Well, I ran the saw for about 20 minutes. You guys were over there on that log. And just as I suspected, this tree really wants to go that way. And I really wanted to go this way. So the tree took my saw, which isn't very nice. But here we are. The good news is, if this falls and no one's around to hear it, it doesn't make a noise. If it falls left or right, there's nothing it can hit. I don't think it's going to come towards us. It's just so heavy on that left side. I should have known. So anyway, there's that. And my other saw, the reason I was asking about 72, 78, and 80 drive links, my other saw, I accidentally ordered 18-inch blades, and they're not, they're 20-inch. I got to send those back, but nonetheless, it was really easy to find a 78 drive link blade, but it wasn't very easy to in an 18, but it wasn't very easy in a 20. I don't know what that's about. Whew, look how big these trees are. There's a lot of good firewood over here. And it's going to be a while before we have a fireplace. But certainly, when we buck all this and stack it, it'll have plenty of time to dry out. And you may not think some of these trees are very big on camera, but there's this one. That's a 13 wide boot, so what's that tell you? But this one fell right into that one. The good news is that one's leaning like crazy. It'll go right over. I know. Some of you guys can't stand it. You probably think I'm making a mess. But calm down, Ray. It is a mess right now. But in the end, this has to be done. We don't need this many trees right here. The only reason these trees are as big as they are is because they've been drinking from the pond. Because if you go around and look at any other trees on the property, none of them are this big, especially those willow trees, man. Some of those are 60 feet tall. I mean, this tree right here that's eating my saw, that's shorter than that willow tree right there. That's shorter than both of them. Isn't that crazy? So they're just drinking out of the pond and out of the overflow. So they gotta go. They have got to go. So I think what I'll do, one of y'all graciously sent us a come along, and I'm no dummy, despite some of today's decisions. I'm smarter than the average bear, okay? I'm gonna get a come along and I'm gonna find a good anchor point. I'm not gonna do it today, I just don't have time. I'm gonna find a good anchor point to secure this tree to make it go that way. I'm not gonna ratchet to come along and be on the side I want it to fall. I'll be on the other side. And should have been using a wedge. I just thought for sure I'd made a deep enough relief cut on front to make that fall, but it is what it is, live and learn. So the success today was realizing when the tree had won and walking away. So I'm gonna get a come along. I'm gonna find a way to secure that to a tree trunk over here, ratchet it pretty tight, and then take my other saw and start gradually cutting away at the other side so it goes this way. So I'm not super opposed to it going this way. I don't know. I just picked this side and went with it. But standing back here, I think I chose the wrong side to make a relief cut. It is what it is, boys and girls. It is what it is. But ain't nothing gonna hurt that saw to be out here tonight. It's not like it's gonna rain. So if old Wally gets brave, he can use that saw to help me take some of these trees down. So anyway, what else you guys wanna know? We need to run up front and look at the gate and show you what I'm thinking. It hasn't changed. I haven't been over to get more lumber, but I think we are gonna go with, well, wait, I'll show you here in a second. I've done nothing since you guys saw it last. So I've had bigger projects, bigger irons in the fire, more important irons in the fire, whatever you wanna call it. I have decided based on your guys' comments and what we think is most efficient as well, to skip the Kentucky 4-board fence and do the cattle panels all the way down yonder, both ways. I think it'll look good. Yes, these get cut off. There won't be posts sticking up. Like this one's about a foot out of the ground, foot over the 52 inches. And this one is about 1.5 feet because there must have been a huge rock or something right there. But those will get trimmed. Like I said, we have a real pretty black gate coming, but I'm also waiting on a tractor because I got to go pull those out of the ground. I could probably do it with my truck. It can wait. I think we already have enough cattle panels. So that's the good news too. Yeah, and what I'll probably do is start way down there and set another 6x6, put 4x4s in between. But I think what I'm gonna do is put a 4x4, like you guys said, every 8 feet. That way we don't get this up and down, this sagging right here. It'll make it a lot sturdier. So anyway, stay tuned for that. I haven't bought the material yet because I was trying to decide what to get and what we were gonna do. I'm glad I didn't order a bunch of deck boards, but I'll get some 2x4x16s because I'm not gonna use 2x6s with 4x4 posts. That would look kind of funny looking. It wouldn't look very dimensionally. It's not very aesthetically pleasing to the eye, okay? We definitely wanna get some 6x6s. Doggone it, can you tell it's hot outside? We definitely wanna get some 4x4s and some 2x4s, which will be even cheaper. And that's how we'll do it, so. I'm excited, it's gonna look good, trust me. If I go to mom and dad's this weekend, I'll take a picture of what this is gonna look like. It's what I built them a couple years ago. That way you guys can get a better idea in your head. Other than that, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go get something really, really wet and really, really cold to drink. Big old Monster Energy, no, I'm just kidding. Big old water sounds really good right now, actually. So I'm gonna go get some water and I gotta pick up all the boys from school. Go home, edit this video for you guys the day you're seeing it. Guys, stay tuned. Don't worry about that tree back there. Don't worry about that saw. I have to end this video in order to upload it and get it out for you guys tonight, but that tree will be down by tonight, okay? I'll take care of it. I've got another saw. Just need to start cutting on the other side and let her fall. Doesn't matter if that other saw breaks. Doesn't matter whatsoever, as long as I go home to my boys and my wife, right? With that said, guys, I know this video was like all over the place, but we have a ton of stuff coming. Trapper Jay's gonna come, I believe. Brandon from Earthworks is gonna come out, and we're gonna change the way this place looks. We're gonna do it all. So thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all be good, don't work too hard, don't make it weird. God bless. Deuces.